This Valentine's Day, I only have one thing to say. There are a few different types of love in our world that exist between us. It's usually commonly acknowledged that there are three or four. Um, there's brotherly love, there's um, parental, like blood kin love, there's the bond between like band of brothers type stuff, that's built but there's never really spoken about. Loyalty, I guess is the best way to say that one. Unfleeting loyalty. And then there's the passionate love. Um, all of these are utterly destroyed um, by prejudice, by ill perceptions of other people, by the way we look at them. And throughout what I will be posting and saying will be a few underlying things. One of them will be like equality, which is like that's the main goal of everything, right? But underlying that will be the church, Protestant church, most predominantly, uh, in terms of metaphors and hit and miss like words used to describe certain scenarios and give examples, basically. The second one is their relationship to other cultures and the way they perceive certain sects, groups, races, other religious groups, themselves, and the world about them. I really don't understand it anymore. I understand what principles were at a certain point in time, and the goal of like the whole church as a broadcast family of individuals worldwide, which is like peace and helping everybody and everybody being equal, like having the same uh, miracles, I guess is the easiest way to say it. Because like somebody's miracle in the first world, like in Western society, is oh hey look I got a loan from the bank and now I can get a new car or a house or a big screen TV or like all this other stuff that I'll never really need. And somebody else's miracle in the rest of the world is oh hey I survived another day. Thanks big man. Like, awesome. Like, I lived another day because I had some food. Somebody gave me food. It's Red Cross or they were able to scrounge enough money up from the previous workday because they only make so much in an hour. Um, and how, like, really just stop and think about that for a second. If that is a miracle to us, like getting, not even surviving anymore, that's not a miracle. Saving other people's lives, that's not a miracle. Stopping wars in other countries where people are getting blown up every day by IEDs and random gunfire and shells, like we could hit anywhere, right? Like let's go Syria, Lebanon, Egypt, Iran, North Korea. China's slowing down. Good job, China. I support you guys. Keep up the whole becoming more equal thing. It's a slow road. I understand that because you're still communist and still trying to strive. From the perception that is focused on you, we could hit anywhere. We can go into South America. We could hit up our own streets where gangs are doing anything. Like really, if living, like basically, a miracle in Western culture to most people today is being comfortable for another day, living in that perception of a dream, of a fantasy, worrying about tomorrow, but being comfortable in today. I mean, they're basically living in an imaginary world most of the time because when they're not at work, trying to focus on not working, they're in a, they're various like engaged in a hobby or an addiction or something that keeps them in another world, or they're worrying about tomorrow, which doesn't exist yet. So that's another fantasy in itself. It's just a negative fantasy because they're stuck in it. So if you can bring yourself out of that, being a slave to something that doesn't exist yet, and via worry, via uh, perceiving yourself in that scenario already, which is worse than you already are. Like that's not a miracle. A miracle is living till tomorrow, and we need to basically recognize and realize that the whole world needs to have the same status quo of miracle. If you believe in God or any higher power or anything really, spirituality, karma, everything. Everybody's version needs to be the same because That's what equality. That's part of the basis of equality. And if you can't grasp that, um, because I mean, when you think about it, it's a really big thing to start thinking about inside of yourself. Like, why do I perceive these things as miracles? Well, the other rest, like third parts of the third world, a miracle for them is their son or daughter coming home from the streets every day, where they work to sell this or that, or work in a factory. Like, that's only different because we let it be different. That's the key. And once you realize that and you're part of that, it's pretty profound. So anyway, um, yeah, equality universal. Have a good rest of your day. I'm gonna peace out on Valentine's Day.